Welcome back, everyone. Today we have a different kind of video. This time we're gonna do our meta recap of what happened over the weekend. We had two major tournaments. Carta Magica and PPG had their regional events online, and they capped at 520 people, I believe, both. So we have good tournament results to find out as to where the meta is going, and we can try to predict where the meta is gonna go to. The first thing we have is Carta Magica. They have 123 Zoro and 121 Kiemon. So these two decks are fighting for the first place to who gets be the best deck. Carta Magica, Zoro won the tournament, and PPG, Kiemon won the tournament. So they are neck and neck to be the best deck, one of the two for sure. Then the next deck is Edward Newgate. As Edward Newgate has solidified that third best deck of the format, and I do believe so. There is some exciting decks that you can. I mean, just playing the Straw Hat version, I think is the better one right now. But like even playing the regular one, the only with the Moby Dick, is still pretty strong. And this character does get to prey on 4 life leaders, and they get to have some good matchups against pretty much Zoro, most importantly than anything else. And having a good matchup against Zoro goes a long way, even however many tournament, 9 round tournament where you're gonna see a bunch of Zoros. It's gonna be really good, and you don't have the worst Kiemon matchup. You can still win that matchup. That feels really good. That's really good in this meta. So this deck gets well positioned into a third place best deck of the format. Then we have Smoker and Law. I think they top 16, but they didn't go beyond top 16. Law did get a second place during the whole weekend, so Law is still very good in certain scenarios. And if you build your deck to beat Zoro or beat Kiemon and have a good matchup against all these 3 decks, you're gonna have a decent time. It's still a deck that has a lot of problems against removal, but even so, it's still a very good deck. And then the other decks, just the other decks that get divided between the other ones. We see something similar happening at PPG, where Zoro got 28% representation, Kiemon got 22% representation, and Whitebeard got the third place with 10% representation, and Smoker got 8%. And then after that, everything else is just like 5% to the 2%. So they get closer into the other category. And that's the trend that we see right now. I'm not sure if it's because they are the new leaders and people are trying to try them out, but Zoro was a leader from last set, so it's also because it's one of the best decks. So it's been a really interesting development with this, as these two are fighting for the first place. But I think when it comes down to the top cut, let's go into the top cut placement right now. Okay, so this was the top 16, and even though Kiemon had less decks than Zoro, he was able to convert more decks into the top 16. And Zoro still have 4 decks, but even though Kiemon got more decks into that. And that also happens in Carta Magica. I don't have a graphic for that one, but I know 5 Kiemons got top 4, and only 2 Zoros got top 16, I'm sorry, and only 2 Zoros got top 16, which means Kiemon is getting a better conversion rate into the bigger tournaments, into the later portions of the on the top 16s. Whitebeard got a astonishing 3 places on the top 16, and also happened in the Carta Magica. They also got 3 decks in the top 16. So again, this deck has solidified as the third best deck of the format, and I can understand why. The other ones, it's kind of funny that a Magellan got there, and a Luffy. I do think Luffy is very good, but the Magellan is kind of interesting that he got there. I want to see his build, and I want to play him because it's really interesting. It's really good. In the other side, Smoker got 2 tops, the top 16, 1 Ivankov, and everything, and 1 Z got into the top 16. So the other decks were kind of fine, but let's focus on the top 3 decks. Maybe even Law, but no, the top 3 decks are the most important here. Actually, Law got 2 tops here, in here and the other one. So I would say this is the 4th deck that is going to make tops consistently through the rest of the format. So when we analyze what's going to happen, I think Kiemon is going to go up in representation for the following Treasure Cups or whatever we're going to play. Treasure Cups or regionals. The reason why is because it has a better conversion rate, and it has the best matchup that you can have is gonna be against Zoro. At least you're gonna be favored. It's not gonna be like you're gonna auto win, of course, because the Zoro decks have to adapt and have more removal for the green threats. But also, they also have to worry about having to fight Whitebeard, which is not an easy matchup either. So these two decks are gonna be gunning for you. And even though you're a good deck, you're still in favor in both matchups. So the top two decks that are gonna happen they're gonna be gunning for you, the Zoro deck, and that's what I think is gonna happen. So I would expect more Kiemons to make the next tournament. The next tournament, I think you have to also prepare for the mirror. If you're playing Kiemon, like you have to prepare a little bit more for the mirror too. So you have to have good answers against these two decks, and also have a little bit more for the mirror. And that's going to be really important if you want to win an event with Kiemon. With Zoro, again, you have to find a way to be able to deal with this. And the main way that you're going to be able to do that is by upping the number of, full capping the 9-drop. The Whitebeard is going to be your best tool to win these matchups. The Whitebeard and the minus N effects on something like Gordon are going to be really important for you to be able to clear the opponent's board, and at the same time deal damage to the opponent. So maxing out on the 9-drop Whitebeard is going to be really important for you to be able to crack the meta and be able to win. You can make a top 8 if you play Zoro for sure, but if you want to win, you do have to gun for these two decks mainly. And Whitebeard, it doesn't matter how you play the deck. I think Straw Hats is better. But either version is you just have to play correct. You just have to be clean when you play with this one, because you do get to see a lot of cards. You do have a lot of options, and you have to make the best options out of the ones that you draw. So it just master your deck, be a master of your deck, and then you will get the results of winning an event with Newgate for sure. I think that's the key for you to be able to win the next couple of events. Law is gonna be weird. He does struggle a lot against removal, and all of these three decks could pack more removal and make your life miserable. And that's gonna be hard for you to get up there. Not saying that you cannot win, because yeah, it can definitely happen. But it's gonna be more like you're gonna have to spike the event, have a good tournament for you to be able to win the event. But it's still a really good option. You can still make top 8 with him, as he's been represented in the both Carta Magica and PPG. Well, that's all I wanted to bring for today. Just a quick meta update. I'm going to try to do one of these every time there is a huge event with more than 500 people, and see how it represents and what I think the meta will move to. Try to keep you all updated of to what I think the meta will move towards, which is going to be very exciting. That being said, thank you all for watching. Have a good day.